talk about the fatherhood and real life. We talk about the pressure, but we show up. They always say you reap just what you sow up. So you know we never slow up. We are the Everyday Dads Unfiltered. Everyday Dads Unfiltered. Everyday Dads Unfiltered. Everyday Dads Unfiltered. Everyday Dads.
All right, and we live. All right, get it cracking. All right, everybody. So for today's Mixologist Moment, I think in lieu to my guests, we're calling this one the last ticket. All right, so we're going to pour a little reposado. 2 ounces of that. The age in the reposado is just enough to slow things down after the service. You're going to add a little honey thyme syrup in there just for a little bit of balance. Same way a kitchen needs both precision and patience, we're going to add a little bit of fresh lemon juice as well. And then the fresh lemon juice is for the clarity, because after a long shift, you need things clean and honest. We're going to add a little bitters, just a couple of dashes, not to overpour, just to round it out. Add ice per usual. Like I always tell you, the key ingredient, just like the kitchen, everything has a role. And timing matters. Shake that well, strain it, double if you like. That's the last ticket. It doesn't mean the work is done. It just means the role changes. All right? So, because after the last ticket, there's still another shift waiting. All right? So, that was our mixologist moment. All right. Welcome, everybody, back to the Everyday Dads Unfiltered podcast, the podcast where we talk about fatherhood without the filters, without the perfection, and without the pretending. I'm your host, Mr. Shaq Diesel, country boy Shaq, dad of 3 from Florida, raised, basketball loving, always learning in real time. Today's episode hits home for a lot of dads. We met as volunteering for our community in the area that we live. Eventually, that turned into job opportunities for us, and we created a closer bond. But now my dog is an executive chef in Orlando, Florida. If you know anything about the kitchen life, you already know long hours, late night, controlled chaos. And on top of that, he's co-parenting. That takes maturity, that takes communication, and that takes leadership. The kitchen doesn't care about how you feel. Tickets keep printing, heat stays high, expectations never stop. In fatherhood, it's the same way. Today's guest lives in pressure, with extended hours and high standards that he keeps for himself and his family. But when the apron comes off, the dad hat stays on. EDU family, please help me welcome today to the show, Mr. Elgin Frederick. All right, welcome to the show, big dog.
Yes, sir. Thank you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Honestly,
Yes, sir.
It's a pleasure to be here. Reached out and I was like, yes, definitely. I definitely do it.
Yeah, we come a long way from them Palmer Monroe days, huh?
Yes, sir. A long way from Palmer Road Teen Center, baby. To the Tally folks that might be listening, or the folks that was once in Tally, understand what we talking about.
For sure, man. That's why I said, my guy, I didn't really know that you were into cooking like that until you actually left Tally, and I kind of started to follow you on your page and stuff like that. But definitely, we're going to get into a lot of that. But the first segment we're going to start off with today is a segment called Who Raised You? So in this segment, what we get into is how you were raised, different aspects of how you were raised. What do you kind of use those as far as teaching and learning lessons now with your son, and then how you kind of, develop your kid is in life today.
Gotcha. So, who raised me? I would say that's kind of a layered question in a sense.
Okay.
Because, I have my mom, which obviously my mom did a lot and as far as raising is concerned, as far as like parenting and showing love and showing compassion, all of those traits that make you a quality individual, but also turn you into a quality parent. Um, my father, teach you everything about how to be a man, how to run a business, discipline, sacrifice. And then I was fortunate enough to have a grandfather who came on top of my dad and taught me all of those things plus more. And I learned a lot about hospitality, which I didn't even know I was learning at the time, of just,
Wow.
making sure everybody's taken care of, Sunday dinner at the house, making a spread, making sure everybody has what they like, running to the store, getting particular drinks because this
Yeah.
person likes this, that person likes that.
Yeah.
Um, and just how to really lead with love and create a space and an environment for everybody that felt safe, um, and was cared for and loved. So I would say a combination of those three is who raised me, and to kind of break it down, I got a lot from each one of them. You know,
Yeah.
um, I learned a lot of life lessons through all of them.
That's wonderful, man. And I think a big thing I think that we all do is we don't know it until later. I know I was a kid. I ain't gonna say I'm an executive chef, but one thing that you kind of pointed out and mentioned in there was just basically kind of just receiving those actions without even being told. And just like our kids today, they kind of just see and observe things within their scope, and they pick up on those things, and they utilize those things for their own development. Because just like me, I mean, you're a chef, and like I said, I'm nowhere in that space. I can cook, but I wouldn't even, I bow down to your profession. But I learned my cooking by just watching. You know what I'm saying? My mom didn't even know that I could cook until like my freshman year of college, freshman or sophomore year of college, because I would be like, I had like classmates and stuff that were from out of town and stuff, and they would come to me for like meals and stuff all the time. But I just learned from just watching my mom and my aunts and stuff who were like, always cooking in the kitchen. Just okay, I just need to add a little bit of that, or you know what I'm saying, take away a little bit of this, and just from that, I picked it up just naturally and stuff like that. So again, like who your parents are, and that just like those layered foundations, they're a mirror of what we kind of see and do today with our kids. So that's good to see.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, where were you raised? Where are you from?
I was raised in, I guess you could say Orlando, but
Okay.
south of Poplar,
Okay.
Ocoee, and my grandfather lived in Eatonville. So, between those three areas, all my childhood, and just you got to see a little bit of everything. In South of Poplar is kind of the hood.
Yeah.
Ocoee was up and coming at the time, so that was more of the little bit of an uppity area when I was
Yeah.
growing up. It's kind of balanced out now. And then Eatonville,
Hmm.
anybody from Orlando or know about Eatonville,
Yeah.
Eatonville is Eatonville. It's one of the first black towns that was ever created, and has a lot of history, a lot of tradition.
Okay.
During the Hurston Festival, Phyllis Wheatley came through there, so like a lot of rich black culture there,
Yeah.
and a lot of unity and things of that sort. A lot of community events and stuff go on there. So seeing that at a young age, and the same thing kind of in the pocket as well. So got to understand like black community, black culture, all of those things growing up.
Man, shout out to Apaka. Y'all got some ballers down there. I will say
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I done
we
got
played some
I done got
football
into
in
some
there.
I done got into some battles at FAMU with some Apaka boys from Apaka. They y'all breeding them down there. I finna say y'all for
Yeah.
sure got some hoopers down there in Apaka for sure. Next segment we're gonna get into is called Say Less, Little One, where basically these are things that our kids teach us without them even saying much, without them saying much or giving verbiage to what they're teaching us. But what lesson can you say that your child taught you that hit harder than anything else that you've been through in the kitchen? What are some lessons that your son has taught you in reference to that?
Um, this is my son has taught me. I would say my son has deepened my level of patience.
Hmm.
Um, and he has deepened my level of not necessarily always having to speak, but like
Hmm.
presence, you know?
Okay.
My son's autistic, so he's also nonverbal. So it's more about your presence and feeling things out than what you say.
Hmm.
He can definitely, follow what you're saying and understand what you're saying, but sitting there and existing and feeling whatever he's feeling and, you know, being there to calm him when he's stimming and all of those things
Hmm.
are the things that he's taught me that are so valuable inside of fatherhood that I personally don't think you always would get if you
Okay.
didn't deal with a child that had those type of conditions, and you weren't put in those type of situations.
Yeah.
So I would say like I've always been like a patient person. I got that from my mother, but I think the level of patience it takes to understand and actually connect with the child on the spectrum is much deeper, you know. Just like any child, they don't really know what you go through, don't really understand that you had a long day or was
Right.
busy or all of those things. But with the child that's on the spectrum, it's a little bit different because their focus levels are different and their energy levels are much higher than normal children, and their interaction with you is gonna always be like on a eye level.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, like I said, he's nonverbal, so he's not gonna really say anything, but he's gonna look at you. He's gonna make noise. He'll respond. You
Hmm.
know, and all of those things, but it slows everything down for you as a father. Like you have to really be very much in tune and
Yeah.
know, and you can pick up on things before they even get to you. Like I could tell if my son had a good day from how he's walking from down the hallway to me when I'm picking him up. I could tell if something's
Gotcha.
happening based
I
upon
got you.
his body language and things like that. So it allows you to go deeper in your senses as an individual and as a parent.
Got you. First off, I definitely didn't know your son was autistic. I have family members, younger cousins who are autistic, nonverbal as well. So, when you speak on the part about patience, and I know you to a certain extent. Like you're saying, we worked closely for years, for a couple years or whatever at the teen center, and I know you are very, like you said, mild tempered, patient. You seem very patient. You seem very laid back. So for you to say that you had to have another layer of that kind of speaks volumes to you know what I'm saying, to what your son has taught you. Definitely commend you in that because I know that definitely takes a different level. And one of my closest friends that I have from Michigan, his daughter is a nonverbal as well. So you know what I'm saying, I don't have to directly deal with it, but I indirectly kind of feel what he goes through and like how he parents and like you said that level of connection and the communication that he has to have in order for him to understand as well as her to understand. So that's special, man. That's special for sure. Um, Kids, like you said, you have to have that ingenuity, I guess, in between each other, because you can detect, you can tell, you can pick things up easily, and kids definitely remember consistency from their parents and stuff like that. So that's cool. That's dope, man. That is dope. Y'all definitely have a love language in itself between you two, I'm sure.
Absolutely. It's special, man.
Yeah. Next segment we're gonna get into called Real Ones Know. All right. So in this segment, we're gonna talk a little bit about industry and we'll kind of mix some fatherhood into it as well. So um the kitchen, I'm sure it has no feelings, unlike, you know what I'm saying, our kids do, but what are some like chef like realities that people don't see in order for you to show up every day and do what you do as an executive chef, or should I say executive L, as you go by online?
Definitely, definitely. I would say some realities that people don't realize as far as like in the culinary and hospitality industry. A lot of times you're not 100% certain of what you could be walking into. There's a lot of uncertainty in the sense of like when you're working in a restaurant, you don't know if you're going to get 100 customers a day or you're going to get 1,000 customers a day.
Yeah, yeah,
And when you're working at a resort, you don't know if 60 people gonna come to the buffet from 10 to 12, or
yeah,
400 people gonna come to the buffet from 10 to 12.
yeah,
There's a lot of uncertainty, and you have to be able to be like water. You have to move with it. If
yeah,
the pace pick up, you got to pick up the pace. If it slows down, you got to understand that hey, it's only slow for now, and it's gonna pick back up eventually. Uh, and you have to prepare for that. There's a lot of thinking on your feet. It's a lot of being able to adapt to change quickly. Um, it's a lot of prep. Just having
yeah,
things in its place. I have a tattoo on my arm, and it says mise en place, and it's a culinary French term, and it means everything in its place. And I put a way of life because that's what the culinary industry has taught me, that like everything in this place is also a way of life. You have to understand where to put people, where to put things, how to organize stuff beforehand, how to move stuff around. And so when I connected with that terminology, it just hit home for me to understand like it's deeper, than just culinary. It really resonates with me when it comes to life, when it comes to people, when it comes to opportunities and everything. Because if you don't orchestrate them in that way, put things in their place and understand that hey, it's too early for this, or it's too late for that, or this is not an opportunity I need to take right now, I'll do that down the road. You'll kind of be kind of scatterbrained and you won't be able to focus in. And so I would say that's one of the biggest things that people don't understand or really know about the culinary industry, is that it is very much um, a lot of uncertainty that you have to manage. And you kind of touched on it a little bit, like control chaos.
yeah,
When you're the leader, like that's what they look for you too. You understand, people. And another thing that I'll say, like as far as the culinary industry,
uh-huh,
like we don't always get people that have had the best lives. Like in the culinary industry, we get people that have had like a hard life. A lot of times, people that have, either been incarcerated or, have not done well in other careers, and they just fell into this. And now you have to, motivate them, inspire them, and teach them the right way. Um, and sometimes, we have people that have different, substance abuse, drug abuse, all of these things. And you have to, as the chef, get the best out of this person for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever type of shift you have for them. So being able to, pour into yourself first so that you can pour out and give to others, and manage a lot of different, personalities and a lot of different things. People think like they see great plate, and it's like, oh my God, I want to go there, but they have no idea that, you know, two call outs and the chef had to go work 3 stations to make that plate look the way it looked, on top
Right.
of, going around the dining room and checking with all the guests and stuff like that. I
Man.
would say like those are the two biggest things for me, is like the uncertainty of everything and just the pressure and the balance of it all as a chef, like the things that you deal with, that you have to go through.
Man, because when I pull up, I want my food just right. You feel me? I
Exactly.
don't want no issues.
No
Look, it
issues.
better be just because, man, look, because like you said, people are, you don't know what you're gonna get on the other end. Because I could have had a bad day. You know what I'm saying? Coming
Hmm.
into the experience or whatever, or the service that and my expectations are gonna be super high. So like,
Feel
you know what I'm
me?
saying? I don't care about your title or what you got, man. I want it right. Get
Exactly.
it right for me, L. Okay.
Exactly.
But no, man,
Exactly.
like I don't I definitely can feel that. And I think that ties right into like fatherhood. Like a lot of stuff is on the fly, man. A lot of stuff is on the fly. We have to adapt in the midst of, like you said, I have to show up and motivate my people, you know what I'm saying, and try to be as best as I can be in my role as a manager or a head chef, and then turn around and like I said, I got to continue to wear that hat in my relationship and my what I'm saying, with my family, my direct family, and especially our kids and stuff like that. So, man, it is, and I feel it because the mixologist moment for me, and I don't think I really said this on here until like this episode. I do the mixologist moment because I'm a mixologist, right? You know what I'm saying? I have a bartending business, and I haven't really said that, like I said, until now. But I totally get it because on the back end, like when I do events and I do the private parties and what I'm saying, like a cocktail class when I'm teaching people to make signature cocktails and stuff like that, them folks want it right. They don't care about
None,
what other problems you got, who you need to motivate, how long it took
none
you
of
to
that.
prepare. When we
They
show
don't
up,
care
it,
you got
it
three
has it has
kids.
to
They don't care
it
you
has to
got a
be A
wife.
plus service every time. It has to be A plus service every time. So I definitely understand that, and I get it for sure, 1,000%. Man, any other highlights we want to highlight about the business aspect before we move on? Any shout outs you want to give in reference to business? I know you're down in Orlando. Anything else we want to highlight before we move forward?
Well, I mean, shout myself out. I'm a private chef here in Orlando. I am focusing right now on big in nutrition and fueling the athlete inside of you. So, if there's anybody in the area that's looking for, meal prep, healthy meal prep, and I
Yeah,
put an emphasis on healthy meal prep,
yeah,
because I'm shifting heavily to that area. I deal with athletes now for the most part, and so a lot of my menus are geared towards that clean eating,
yeah.
um, things that can fuel your body, not just
Mhm.
fuel you up,
Yeah,
and so, yeah, man, holla at
yeah,
me if you need any services, private dinners. I still do that as well. Um, and small, micro parties and weddings. I've kind of moved away from the larger numbers, but anything
yeah.
under 100, you know,
Hey,
I'll take that. You
for
know,
sure. Yeah,
for
man.
sure.
Nutrients is key, and a lot of people don't understand that. When it comes to that aspect, because I'm tapped in. I try to eat pretty clean for the most part. That you don't need a lot in order to kind of get all the nutrients that you need for your body and stuff like that. So, definitely commend you in that. If y'all in the old town, y'all know tap in Orlando Magic. I don't know if y'all might see this. Hey, my boy, get with him, okay?
Definitely,
Uh,
definitely. One of my former
but
clients played
yeah,
for the
for
Magic. He's
oh,
now in Milwaukee now, Cole Anthony. So,
okay. I know. Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, point guard.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Real
Okay.
good client. Was with him for a few years. Real good guy.
Yeah, man. So, all right, cool. Um, next segment. tucked in and turned up. So we're gonna do this one a little bit different tonight. So usually we kind of tap in. This is kind of like our barbershop talk. Put the kids to bed. We talk a little bit barbershop talk, things of life. But this tonight, I'm gonna do a this or that cuisine style. Okay, and then I got a big follow up question for you at the end of this particular segment. So first, we're gonna do. So I'm gonna call out some stuff, give you a couple options, and you're gonna tell me this or that. All right. So first one, line cook or executive chef?
That's a tough one, man. I'm gonna say executive chef because that has always been my dream, and it's came true for years now. I've been an executive chef for what,
Okay.
like 12 years now.
Okay.
Um, but I will tell you, it's something about those line cook days where you can just go in and focus on your station and
Yeah.
execute your station. Is nothing like it. You just lock in. You ain't got to worry about nothing else. Your prep only. You ain't got to check and see if somebody call out. All you got to do is your job and
Yeah.
execute. I was very big fan of saute on the line. So
Yeah.
saute and grill was my two stations. So
Okay.
yeah, man, I definitely be executive chef, but line cook days I'll jump back in there at any time.
All right. Okay. Open kitchen or closed kitchen?
Open kitchen. I like the guests to be able to see what's going on. I like the interaction, and I enjoy the like feeling people watch you work
Uh-huh.
and them
Yeah.
actually enjoying you work. I enjoy that aspect of it. Like, I don't
Almost
know, it's
like
just
performing under pressure, like watching somebody watching you play
yeah,
basketball or something. Like I get
exactly.
a extra thrill from somebody else watching
Hmm.
me than rather like a closed gym. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You rather prep all day or have do service all night?
Give me
Yeah.
service, man. Give me service all night. Let's
All right.
get it
All
going.
right.
Yeah.
All right. You rather have small menu done perfectly or a big menu with options?
I like perfection. So
Okay.
let's make it
Okay.
small. Let's perfect it.
Okay. All right. Cast iron or stainless steel?
Cast iron all day, man. And I'm from the
All right.
South, baby. We gotta have that cast iron, that extra butter in
Go.
there.
Come on,
Get it
man.
done.
Come
Get
on.
it
Come
done.
on. Come on. Give me some water cornbread. All right.
Yeah, a little hot
Come
water.
on.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on. All
Gotta
right.
have.
High volume service or fine dining precision? Yeah.
I enjoy fine dining more.
Okay.
Um, High volume. I thoroughly enjoyed when I worked in the colleges, when I worked at FAMU and at FSU, that, serving 4,000 in one day at FAMU, fried
Yeah.
chicken Wednesday,
Yeah.
30 cases of fried chicken in a 4 hour span, like nothing like it. It's nothing
You was
like
back
it.
there. You was back there whipping in the
Oh
kitchen.
yeah. Oh yeah. Whipping it up. Fried chicken Wednesday on the mac
Okay.
and cheese,
Okay.
frying
Yeah.
the chicken.
Cause come
Yeah,
on, talk
making the
about it.
collard greens. Yeah,
Fried chicken
man.
Wednesday. Wednesday, a delicacy. Okay. If you
Yes,
know,
yeah.
you know.
Wednesday is a
All right.
delicacy at FAMU for sure. So I was
All
back
right.
there,
All
but
right. Okay.
fine
Okay. I did
dining,
not know that. I did not
yeah,
know that.
yeah, man. But
All
fine
right.
dining, it has a special place in my heart too because there's
Uh-huh.
a level of calmness and just pure precision and creativity that you get with fine dining that you just can't get with those large numbers. So
I got you. That makes sense. Trust your palate or trust the recipe.
always trust your palate. Recipe is just a recipe.
Season.
And I tell people all the time, recipe is just a guide. Your palate is going to tell you. That's why it's very important to try things and understand how to layer flavors because your palate is going to give you the secret sauce, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
that's just what it is.
I got you. Okay, yeah, because I'll follow a recipe now, but like you said, yeah, I'm gonna trust that palate though. I'm for sure gonna trust that palate. Season as you go or fix it at the end.
Season as I go, I like to put all the seasonings that I'm going to use inside of one container and balance it out beforehand
Uh-huh.
and just get an
Mhm.
even season.
I got you. Cooking at home or ordering takeout?
I'm gonna cook at home. I'm one of the worst critiques when it comes to takeout because I tell people all the time, like I can taste effort. Like it's they think I could just taste it. Like I just take the first bite. Yeah, y'all just threw this together. Like yeah, it's not. It's y'all ain't put no love in this, man. No love in. Y'all pour this out of bag, man. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Y'all can't fool me. So
for
yeah,
sure.
I cook at home any day.
I got you. Kids help in the kitchen or stay out of the way?
Um, Me personally, I like to pass the torch down. So like my nieces and nephews, I thoroughly enjoy like teaching them. And my nephew the other day actually sent me some pictures. He was on the grill and he made some chicken and some pork
Yeah,
chops and stuff like that. So I feel like teaching is in my blood, and
yeah,
I rather teach them while they're young so that they understand the importance of you know, being able to cook, and even the younger boys, like letting them know, like, hey, like this is a life skill. This ain't a woman's job. Like this is
yeah,
you
yeah,
need to know how to do this.
yeah.
So definitely teaching.
I have my days, man. Cause on some days I'll be like, "Hey, let me just get to it," and then on other days, "Hey, man, get your ass out the way, okay? Get your ass out the way, cause you killing me right now.
You
I'm trying to
killing me,
give you a little
spilling stuff.
man. Look, hey, come on, and can I have some after every 2 minutes? Come on, cuz.
Can I
Come
taste
on,
it?
come on. All right, I'm gonna tell you when it's time to taste test. Relax, just relax. All right,
Yeah, I feel you on that.
family meal or everybody eats when they can.
I'm a family meal guy, man, and I get that from my mom. Me and my mom. Um, Growing up, like probably from my ninth grade year all the way to my senior year, my brother was gone, so it was me and my mom a lot. When I was split between my mom and my dad's house, we would sit down and eat dinner every night together. Like that was our thing whenever I was staying with her. So definitely family meal, and the same thing at my dad's house. Like we all
Yeah.
sat down, ate at the same time. Talk about our days, stuff like that. So I'm a definitely family meal guy. Yeah.
All right. This our last this or that, and then I got a question for you. Your favorite chef prepares and cooks a private dinner for you, or you cook a private dinner for your significant other in a remote location of your choice. So
Well, this is
that's
easy. I don't have a significant other right now, so let me get my favorite chef. Let me get my favorite chef to, whip the work
tell
for
them
me.
give you the whole menu. Give you everything
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
menu.
Lay it
Yeah.
out for me.
I got
Yeah.
you. I got you. And this is my question. All right. So last question was, would you ever consider opening a restaurant? I know that's kind of like a kind of cliche question to ask, but I had to ask, would you ever consider opening a restaurant?
Yeah,
And then if so, what type of cuisine would it be for the restaurant?
definitely. So opening a restaurant is definitely on my list of things to do.
Okay.
And I have, a style restaurant. I want it to be a connection based restaurant. So I want to focus on couples, and basically my idea is to have a 5 course meal,
Okay.
and in between the courses there will be interactive cards, questions on the table for couples to ask each other and engage. And
Oh,
so
that's
it's
dope.
basically like an experience inside of one where you come, you connect with your, significant other, and you have these thought-provoking, engaging questions and little games that can go on, where it
That's
involves other
fine.
couples and stuff like that. So it's really an experience. It'll probably be like a 2-hour dining experience, and
Right.
really get people to like really connect with each other over great food, and great hospitality. So that's my basically business model, business plan, and I look to execute that within the next like probably like 6 or 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for sure, me and wifey will come on down there and get us a plate. And if you need a cocktail menu for it,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
we
I
got to
already
do some
know who
drink.
to call.
Come on, hit the boy. I got you. Hit the kid. I lay it out for you or whatever. Okay,
Definitely.
I
Definitely.
got you. All right. Next segment is last segment that we have is dad gems. So this we're here. We kind of just close out. What are some gems that you want to give other fathers, other dads, and like your space, co-parenting, autism, like anything that you want to highlight? Some gems that you want to give to fathers that might be
Definitely.
watching the podcast.
Definitely. I would say like the first thing, like as far as dad gyms concerned, I'll say like take care of yourself, man. Like that's the biggest thing. Like that's my biggest like thing that I'm like pushing to men that I meet right now is like you cannot pour from an empty cup. Like
Yeah.
if you don't take time to yourself, if you don't set a routine for yourself, like your whole life is just gonna be all over the place. So like just a little example about me, like 4:05 every morning I'm up, and that first like hour of my day is dedicated just to me. That's either to pray, that's either to do yoga, journaling, whatever I needed to do, you know. And then after that, I hit the gym, and then after the gym, I get my day started. So it's like you have to feed your soul first before you can
Yeah.
feed anybody else. So that would be my
Yeah.
first gym is like pouring into yourself,
Hmm.
figure out how to do it. My example is my example. I ain't saying everybody got to be a morning person because I know everybody's not, but like you really got to figure out how to, feed yourself first so that you can feed others. That would be my first gym. And then the second gym, as far as like dad gym, bro, like it's okay to be wrong.
Yeah.
Like you're not
Yeah.
gonna get everything
Yeah.
right. Like you're not
That
gonna
happened.
say it right the first
Yeah.
time. Like you're not gonna, show up the best way possible. But forgive yourself and get ready tomorrow, cause them kids gonna be there tomorrow. Like it is what it is. Like just be okay with being wrong and apologize. Like, even with my son being nonverbal, like if I felt like I did something or like if I handled him in the wrong manner or like if I was just wrong about something, like I just say it like, hey man, I'm sorry, like, daddy was just frustrated in the moment, da 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 and like give love. Like your children need love. Like it is very, very imperative that you hug your children, that you kiss your children, that you tell them that you love them. Like fathers that have daughters, like it's extremely important that you be their first love, like the perfect example of what a man should look like and how he should exhibit himself and how he should love on her and dote on her. Like,
Yeah.
it's so many, children out here that I interact with, even with mentoring like that, they'll
Yeah.
tell me like, "You the first man that ever tell me like I love you." Like
Yeah.
what? Like it's
Yeah.
very very important. Like it's
Yeah.
very very important that we love on our children, especially as Black fathers. Like our kids go through so much in this world, so like make sure you love on your kids. Um, Other thing I would say is don't be afraid to like let your kids try what they want to try.
Yeah.
I have nieces and nephews that are in all kinds of things. One of my nephews was really big into building, and he would build what do you call it, like
Like Legos.
yeah, like the Lego thing, and like building the different like cars and stuff like that. Like he was really big into that for a while. So like whatever the kids want to do, like you don't know where their gift is gonna come from. Like a
For
lot of
sure.
times, certain things may have skipped over you. Like somebody before you may have been into that, and you didn't even know that, and it kind of skipped over you, and it's now hitting your children. So like, allow your children to, do whatever they feel like they interested in, and support them. Put some money behind it. if they need something, get them a tutor, get them a mentor, like, just like, show up for your kid. Like, I don't know if that's like a gym or more of like encouragement, because I know sometimes, like, as fathers, you you got a lot on your plate. You trying to manage, you
Yeah.
know, if you married, like, you trying to manage the wife, yourself, the
Yeah.
kids, got budgeting, and we ain't got enough money for this, da da da
Yeah.
da. But I always say to anybody, and especially to us as men and as fathers, like, you already have everything you need inside of you to do whatever it is that you got to do. It's just about you stopping and being quiet and being calm and being still and connecting to those parts of yourself so that
Sure.
you can then pour back into all of the people that's connected to you, So, like, never doubt yourself. Like, never be like, man, is this too much? Did I take on too much? Like, you didn't. Like, it's just time to pull deeper from internally to give what you need to give. So never doubt yourself. And therapy is your friend, bro.
Yeah.
And like brotherhood, like, it's one or the other. Like, either you in therapy or you got brotherhood. And I'm talking
Yeah.
like real brotherhood. Like, I ain't talking like the brotherhood y'all know. What I'm talking about. I ain't talking about that type of brotherhood. I'm talking about
Yeah.
like the brotherhood that's gonna be like, hey man, we going here, da 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 da. We finna go to the game and do, and we going home.
Yeah.
Like, we ain't
Yeah.
going to the hookah lounge. We ain't doing none of that. Like, we going to have a good time. We going home, and that brotherhood that's gonna say like, hey bro, like, how's your heart? Like, how your heart
Yeah.
today? Like, what you got
Yeah.
going on? What you struggling with? Like, what we reading? Like, that type of brotherhood. Like, the brotherhood that's gonna lift you up, that's gonna pull you closer to your higher self. Like, hey, what we studying this month? Like, we studying Book of Job, we studying
For
Proverbs.
sure.
Like,
Yep.
what we
Yep.
on? Like,
Yep.
that's the type of brotherhood that you need. And if you don't have that, then I would say, you know, be in therapy, like, and be real with the therapist. Like, hey, if you struggle with lying, like, hey, like, I'm battling with this, like, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Or if you're struggling with, just like showing up or self awareness or any of that, like, in order to be your best self is being your most vulnerable self. Like, that's what I
Yeah.
would say. Like, as far as
Yeah.
another gym for the fathers. And when it comes to co-parenting, man, like, I would say like this. Like, me as being someone that, is divorced and, had to go through that whole thing, like,
Mhm.
it's on you as the man to always reiterate that, like, yeah, we might have not worked out and I may have divorced you, whatever, or you may have divorced me if it's the other way around.
Yeah.
But I never divorced us as a family. Like, we still a family. Like, we still can do things
Yeah.
together. It's very
Mhm.
important for kids to see their parents together with them,
Mhm.
enjoying themselves outside of graduation and
Yeah.
birthdays and all of those things. Like, it's important, like, to keep that line of communication that's respectful. Like, hey, I'm going to do, I'm taking Johnny or whoever to Disney in a month. Like, hey, if you and your, if you and your new husband or boyfriend, if y'all want to come, like, extend the invitation, bro. Like,
Right.
you
That's
know,
big.
um,
That's big.
that level of camaraderie and hospitality, like, it starts with you. Like, it starts with us as the man. Like, a lot of times, it can be some pain and some strife on the other side, but your level of maturity is going to balance it all out. Like, if you're tiptoeing around or if you're like scared of that type of conversation, like, it's never gonna get better. Like,
Yeah.
you're still the leader of the relationship. Like, it's still a relationship. A co-parent
Yeah.
is still a
For
relationship.
sure. A
And as the
thousand percent.
man, you're still the head. So, like,
Yeah.
it's gonna go as far as you gonna take it.
Yeah.
So if you don't put forth the effort and actually sit down and take the time and think about it and be strategic around it, it's always gonna be what it is until you continue to lead it to the other side. So as men, I would say, like, inside of co-parenting, still lead the relationship, still lead with love, with respect, genuine concern. Like I ain't saying you got to be, you know, all in her business or whatever, but you should care enough that she is good, and she's living a good life, because
For sure.
the life that she's living is always going to be a reflection of the life she can provide for your child. So like,
For sure.
if she's
1,000%.
not living a great life, your child is not receiving a great mother. So like, remember that, you know. Um, so that would be my nugget on co-parenting, and like, just have fun, bro. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how much more to say about that. Like when you are together, like, just be normal. Like, don't make it weird. Don't be like trying to
Yeah.
be all standoffish. Don't want to speak and all of that. Like, that's immature. Like, we grown. Like, how y'all
Yeah.
doing? Build a relationship with the other person, because they a part of your kid life just as much as you. Like,
1,000%.
they they
Yeah.
father just like you father.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
don't build that relationship, it may not take your child, to the depths that you want your child to get to, because that
Yeah.
other person doesn't feel respected. Number one, we all men, we want to have respect, and they don't feel value inside of their role as your child's other father.
Yeah,
So
for sure. Yeah.
put forth that time, put forth that level of respect, that effort to, have that healthy dialogue, to let them know like you appreciate them, you respect them for who they are in your child's life, and see where it goes.
Man, I couldn't have said it better myself. Them contrary to belief, I actually wrote down a gym tonight, and I think it's very fitting. I usually try to follow up the gym section with the gym, and my gym was you don't need a perfect situation to be a great dad. All you need is intention. And I think you rounded that off with everything that you spoke from. Being intentional with yourself, being intentional with your son, being intentional with your family, being intentional with the other father that you're co-parenting with. So well said, brother. And it shows great maturity, as I said in the opening, with yourself, to be able to communicate that, and then understand like yourself and what you bring to the table, and then how you should show up to be a better person for your family dynamic. So, man, I applaud you for that, and I want to give you your flowers, brother.
Definitely, brother. I appreciate you.
All right, man. This episode was extremely special. It reminds us that fatherhood does not look just one way. There are multiple ways that fatherhood looks. Um, whether you're in one household, two households, whether the apron is on or off, my dog still has that main role, that same title, dad, always. All right. So again, everybody, y'all make sure y'all go follow, like, and subscribe. And again, I want to make sure I thank my dog again for joining us tonight, and I appreciate you for coming on, brother.
My brother.
All
Anytime.
right, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is the Everyday Dads Unfiltered podcast. Checking out, and we'll catch y'all the next time around, man. Peace.